So, Coach, thank you for, this is our last match for the season. Just your thoughts on the results, perhaps, and just how you went about it today.
Okay, thank you. Good evening to the members of the media. I think the players executed the plan. We obviously don't want to give Pirates space, timing the ball because we know their strength and the areas that they usually operate in, where they double up or they force you to leave space behind so that they can exploit. So we had to play more of 3-4-3, but kind of 3-5-2. Might confuse a lot of people as well in terms of the way we played, because we wanted this case two players in midfield at the same time to be the one that goes out wide to be able to, if it's later on, can engage him, then escapes to reinforce the defense. So it kind of worked very well. The chemistry at the back as well was solid. Because football is a game of mistakes. I think we were lucky to concede. I think just after we hit the crossbar, and we had about good 3 or 4 good counter-attacks that we have made use of them to help them. But I think the final touch was decision making. And the second half, bringing Mulema, we always knew that they would be more worried about him when he dragged the defenders out so that we create space for Mulema. And it worked very well because Mulema was always on those one. That's what we wanted actually in the first half. But twice Mulema was on. He didn't want to take the player on. I think he wanted to have a shot at goals with the first one. The second one, he tried to combine. Then when we told him not skill them, take them on. If you lose the ball, it's fine. Take them on because you're good enough. And that's how we managed to get the first goal. I believe we should have got another one. We can't remember it was already 1-1. I think it was 1-1, so we could have scored the second goal. Similar movement from him. Must give credit to the guys. Put up a very good shift. And the tactical discipline and tactical endurance in this game, I was a bit worried. So we've been playing against competitive teams because of none of the PSL team that was available to play against us around just to prepare for this game. So we had to play against teams in the ABC Super League. I think we played one friendly. So now I can imagine in between not getting competitive teams to prepare for the game flow of this new opportunity against the Orlando Pirates. And no Orlando Pirates is a team, a lot of quality players. So, as I'm saying, I think the players they executed the plan to the team.
Coach, thank you. We will start with the 3 here. Please start by introducing yourself.
Coach, Ngula was from SABC, FM. Coach, mission accomplished. The club has finished in the top 8. You've already got the contract extended for you. Now, building up to next season, just take us through what, in your mind right now, you've managed to achieve in the top 8. And does it give you now more time or more edge to start preparing for next season, knowing exactly that now you're no longer like scared or worried about what will happen to your future?
Look, the nature of football, we always prepare for the the following season. Because it is not about us as coaches, it's about the team. And I think we've been preparing for next season with how we can play. But in terms of other things, we are still going to look at what we can do to improve the team. As I said, I wouldn't want to focus on that right now. Because what was key today was to make sure that we stay on the top page. So other things I think we'll be able to deal with them next season.
Afternoon, Coach. Probably from Isonez. Coach, going to the last few games of the season, a lot of teams were still not certain whether they would finish in the top 8 or even be relegated. Everything was too close. So, to you, what does that say about the standard of the league? Like, what is your assessment of the standard of football that was played in the Betway Premiership this season?
This is the most difficult league in Africa. Orlando Pirates played semi-final of Champions League. Stellenbosch played Confederation Champions League in semi-final. Mamelodi Sundowns. That alone tells you. You get the standard that South Africa has raised the standard at this level. You go to our junior national teams, under 17 is qualified, under 20 we have qualified. So that alone should tell you that if we do things the right way as a nation, so if you look at today's game, and many other teams, how many under 23s that are still going to be there to help the country qualify for Olympics in the future. So there's one thing that we did right, more especially this season, was giving a lot of youngsters an opportunity. And it has improved the standard of football, give the competition to the senior members of all the respective teams. So it is tough. It's still going to be tough. I think that's what I can say.
Coach, I am the news from RSF, and congrats on making the top 8. I guess my question is similar to that asked by Odladla, but looking at the jump that Lesotho has made in terms of improving from last season's position from 11th to 6th, and obviously you didn't start the season with the squad, and you managed to come in, even though you've had a largely inconsistent season, but you did manage to get the top 8 eventually. Looking at the squad specifically, what would you say are the major work-ons that you guys are going to be looking at improving, not only to stay in the top 8, but to try and break into the top 4?
Mindset. I think the team has been playing to survive, and the danger of mindset is when you allow it to happen. And that's one thing that we focus on. The mentality to understand who you are, why you are here, what is it that you want to achieve as an individual. So tactics, for example, the previous coaches, they played the very same system. But maybe at some point it was as effective as it was today for us. At some point it was not. And even us today, we could have easily lost the game that we were in control of at some point. Because that's the nature of football. So, but if you put in a positive energy into the squad, sometimes when players are making a lot of mistakes, they are costly. When you analyze, you don't want them to see them. and rather focus on the positives, show them what they do better, so that they can see the good in them rather than focusing on those ones. Once they make mistakes or something, they make one mistake, or then they don't concede, and that thing comes back again to the mind to say, damn it, it's the situation again. So now they start panicking and they're bound to concede. So, as I said, you look at the situation as a coach, you look at what can help the team. Sometimes it's not about that much of tactics, it's just the mindset. So, as I said earlier on, mindset, and I can see the way you looked at me when I said mindset and I kept quiet. You think maybe I don't want to answer, but maybe I had to break it down for you, just for you to understand. So it's one of those things. There's a lot of things that are involved in the game, but the mindset is very, very key. Players can be mentally and physically ready to compete, but if their mindset is not right, then it becomes a problem.
Thanks, Coach. We're gonna give my sister there the chance, and Robin does it conclude it. You've been quiet, some of you. Okay, the last three, Coach.
Evening, Coach Zwane. I'm here to support. Congratulations, you're here at the top 8 and securing that spot. Just maybe seeing, Coach, how South African football is gravitating towards using a lot of young blood and young talent. You mentioned that a lot of things you have to deal with when next season comes, but knowing that you'll be at the helm next season, have there maybe been some players that you've identified that could possibly be part of the plans next season? Some people that you're looking to acquire signatures from. Is that a thought that has been with you? Have you been identifying people, or you're just waiting for the next season?
Yeah, thanks. Surely you must have noticed today we had 2 young stars on the bench, and the one started, the other one started. So when you look at AmaZulu, as a club, we have different age groups. We have structures from under 13s. So when they see Mashego play against Paris, it encourages them. The province at large also benefit, because today I saw a lot of youngsters at the stadium, regardless of whether they came to watch to support Pirates or AmaZulu. The key thing here is we need to see them coming to stadium to watch football, watching their peers, so that we can stay away from many other things or bad elements that are happening out there. So that is why we are more than willing to give the youngsters the opportunity to showcase their talent, and knowing where we come from. Life is a bit tough, and I always emphasize on that. Academically, as a black child, most of us we don't come from families that will spoon feed you, get things with a silver platter. You're gonna have to dig deeper, and those are the chosen ones. Those are the black sheep, so that where all these families come from. So you look at KwaZulu-Natal, how many townships within it, how many talent you can get. Pirates, they are captains, KwaZulu-Natal, player. Koti was a AmaZulu player. So the talent tells you that there's a lot of talent in abundance. So we need to give these players the opportunity, and that's the mentality I have about the players that I'm in right now. So had we scored the second goal, probably was going to throw in Mzobe, to get a feel as well. Bambone Kaya, then they to encourage our under 19s, boys, under 17s, boys as well. So And you must have seen it worked for Orlando Pirates. These boys, they just played semi-final of Champions League, and in our previous team, there was a time the team relied on the players who were actually coming from the development, took the team to the final of Champions League. So it tells you that there's so much talent in this country. So yeah, I'm proud of these youngsters, and we're working very close with the development coaches as well. And to me, those are not development coaches, and those are the people who are more important than us, because the job that they do to feed the first team, so that they also make the integration of players very smooth. And look, their job is, they're doing great. Second to none.
Coach, you should smile a bit. You came in the club. You must smile. Give us a smile. 3 games.
The smile is easy to
Coach, as I said, you in the media day we had the other day. You came in the club was languishing at the bottom, and then your first statement when you said this club won't be relegated, and then now you finish number 6. Do you think having had the preseason next season for ahead of next season, do you think AmaZulu will be better? Are you maybe a higher up spot for the club and your player of the season and the coach of the season, please?
I've always wanted to win since when I was a player, and I still want to win now as a coach. That's all that I can say.
The other 2 coaches of the season.
You mean for next season?
No.
This season?
Yes, coach and player of the season.
Yes, I don't want to sound controversial, but I think you look at Irene. I think he carried Orlando Pirates throughout the season. You look at Ribeiro, obviously sometimes won the league, so to be quite honest, Ribeiro, but really as a youngster, doing what he has done this past season, carrying a team of a giant, on his shoulders. I think it was something else. It was very, it was amazing, and we need players like him. That is why I'm saying when these peers see him performing at this level, and now he's definitely going to go to the World Cup. I don't want people to say I'm picking him. I'm not a national team coach, but looking at how Coach Bruce does things, and also how he integrates him, to the senior national team. And obviously for him it's a big jump because he never played for under 20 that much or under 22. It's like maybe the previous players, but because he's exceptional talent, So there's no doubt about it. He's going to make AFCON and World Cup. Also, credit must be given to their coaches. All the coaches from School of Excellence, and coaches at Pirates, who spotted the talent. So, and made life easy for the first team to promote these players to be promoted to the first coach Joseph, believing in them, giving them the opportunity. Today, the equalizer, the player that's got the equalizer also from the team. So it tells you that South African football is going far in that regard. And yeah, Ribeiro, there is no doubt. And the coach of the season will always be a tricky but obviously there are rules that binds it. I think 70%, and if the coach of the Sundowns coach 70% of the season, then it's as simple as that. You win the league, you can coach the season. So that means you've done enough. You could have easily lost it. So sometimes win the league, and so much points. So we should give credit to Sundowns, the technical team and the head coach as well, all the players. And maybe another one would be Mukwena, Macau also played very well for Pirates. You know, when he talked to the midfielders of the city.
So, Coach, thank you. We have